I am recording. It's summertime, it's hot outside, it's hot in here. I've got some catching up to do. It's time for this edition of One Round with George. End of quote. Repeat the line. That's right, it's One Round with George going down now. Ever since I was a kid and saw Sugar Ray Leonard fight, I've loved boxing. I was at HBO for 15 years as a feature producer, won a few sports Emmys.
Not bad.
I got to travel the world and tell the great stories of these fighters.
Maybe something of a rooting interest in Alexander among the entire HBO Sports crew here, because Alexander's manager is former HBO Sports producer George Jakovic.
I've managed a fighter, I've worked a fighter's corner, being as close to the action as you can get. My life has revolved around boxing. June 16th on DAZN, Ryan Garcia faced off against Javier Fortuna. It was supposed to be a lightweight fight. Fortuna couldn't make weight, so they fought at 140. Garcia looked good, dropped him a few times, got him out of there. What he did after the fight is say he was done at 135 and he was moving up at 140. Just remember, Garcia has not fought one of the elite fighters at 135. He says he wants to fight Tank. He says the fight can only happen at 140 pounds. This is what Floyd Mayweather, who promotes Tank Davis, had to say about that.
Okay, if you want to fight Tank, you know, in boxing we make sacrifices. So we know Tank fight at 135. So if you want to fight Tank at 135, we can make it happen before the end of the year.
Going way back to Saturday, July 9th, it was a nice day of fighting. In England, Derek Chisora and Kubrat Pulev battled it out at the O2 Arena in the UK, and Chisora won a split decision. Chisora's 38 years old. He's challenged for the heavyweight title twice unsuccessfully, but he always gives his all. He's one of those fighters you root for. I don't know where he goes from here, but I wish him luck. That same night on Showtime, in the main event, MAGSAYO lost his featherweight title to Mexico's Rey Vargas. Vargas outpunched him and outfought him, but MAGSAYO made it interesting. He dropped him in the 9th round. He never stopped trying to land that knockout shot, but he was unsuccessful. I know MAGSAYO is from the Philippines. He's trained by Freddie Roach, but that's where the comparisons to Manny Pacquiao end. There's some big fights coming up this summer. August 20th, Saudi Arabia, the big heavyweight matchup between heavyweight champ Alexander Usyk and former champ Anthony Joshua. They fought last September. Usyk dominated Joshua at times. Joshua seemed to have no answer for the southpaw style. He's brought in a new trainer, Robert Garcia, to help him. I have no idea if it's going to make a difference. Joshua is bigger, he's stronger, he looked timid in that fight, he was outboxed and he was outpunched by the smaller fighter. Let's see if he can reverse it in the rematch. September 10th is a great doubleheader. Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall finally get to settle their long simmering feud when they face off on September 10th at the O2 Arena in the UK. These two don't like each other, haven't liked each other for years. Marshall's the last woman to beat Shields in a boxing ring, but she did it 10 years ago when they were amateurs. I think Shields is going to be dominant in this fight. I'm looking for Shields to win it. And what makes this card really special is that the undercard, the co-feature, is a 130-pound unification fight between Michaela Mayer and Alicia Baumgardner. Mayer is unbeaten. Baumgardner's only lost once. She's looked sensational in her last few fights. This could be the fight of the night. And you can't have a present, you can't have a future without celebrating the past. July is full of big dates in the history of boxing. July 11th marks the late Leon Spinks' birthday. He passed away in 2021. Leon Spinks will not go down as a great fighter, but he had his moment in time, and that moment is forever. February 15th, 1978, in his 8th fight, he upset the great Muhammad Ali.
One of the greatest upsets in the history of the heavyweight championship.
He lost the belt 7 months later to Ali in a rematch. He never won a heavyweight title again, but he will always have that special moment, and he should be remembered for it. 3 years ago, on July 14th, we lost the great Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. Whitaker was a 1984 Olympian, one of the best pure boxers that ever lived. A Hall of Famer, he won belts in 4 divisions. Maybe his most memorable night was when he completely dominated Julio Cesar Chavez when Chavez was unbeaten, and in his prime in 1993, but it was ruled a draw. Whitaker, one of the best fighters ever. July 12th, 1986, 36 years ago, Evander the Real Deal Holyfield became a champion for the first time in his career. He beat Dwight Muhammad Qawi over 15 rounds in a great fight to become cruiserweight champion. July 18th, 1987, 35 years ago, 2 future Hall of Famers met. Mike the Body Snatcher McCallum defended his junior middleweight belt against Donald the Cobra Curry. Curry was a former welterweight champ. He had lost his belt to Lloyd Hunnigan. He moved up to 154. He looked good early. He rocked McCallum with a right hand in the 2nd round, and going into the 5th, he had won almost every round until this.
He's directly in front of Donald. And there is a left hand by Mike McCallum that came out of the blue and put Donald Curry on his
It was the knockout of the year as McCallum retained his title to end a great fight between two Hall of Famers. July 21st, 1982, 40 years ago, the late, great Salvador Sanchez had the last fight of his legendary career. The featherweight champion faced off against then unknown Azuma Nelson in Madison Square Garden, New York City. It was a great fight. This was Azuma Nelson's coming out party. He gave Sanchez all he could handle till the 15th round when Sanchez knocked the future champion out. Nelson himself went on to have a Hall of Fame career. Shortly after this fight, Sanchez was killed in a car accident at the age of 23 in Mexico. Nelson himself would go on to have a Hall of Fame career. They are both Hall of Famers, but just imagine what the 23-year-old Sanchez could have accomplished if he had a full career. Rest in peace, Salvador. Woo! That is a long round. We had a lot to talk about, and that's the end of this week's edition of One Round with George. That exhilarating one round with me is over. Now you can go to my YouTube page. You can like the content, you can subscribe to the page, and there is more coming soon.